In our last video, we learned that you can make money from day one as a freight broker if you specialize in shipping cars. The way you do this is through buying leads. I'll link that video above. And as a quick refresher, if you're new here, leads are simply people looking to ship their car. Because buying leads ultimately puts you in direct contact with someone who is ready and waiting to move their vehicles. If you're really good at sales, or as I like to say, if you're good at being a human and of service, then you can start making money the day the FMCSA says your authority is active. But buying leads isn't a long-term strategy, especially if you want to grow. Remember that buying leads, as great and convenient as it is, eats into your profits. Revenue is the money you make, and profit is the money minus your expenses. Leads are in fact an expense, so the sooner you can cut down or eliminate this expense altogether, the more money you can have to save, reinvest into your business, or simply spend as you please. So you want to be doing things to build your book of business without depending on buying leads. Over the years, I've spoken to so many newbie brokers and seasoned vets alike who refuse to put the time and energy into this. Unlike buying leads, building your book of business requires work, but its ROI, or return on investment, is unparalleled. In this video, I'm going to share how to build your book of business as an auto freight broker. We're going to go through 3 ways to do this. Before we get into the tips, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe to this channel for more videos on how to ship more cars. Thanks. First up, to build your book of business as an auto freight broker, you have to understand the fundamental law of growing any business, especially relevant in today's digital age. That is, you need to build a brand. I know it's easy to use the terms interchangeably. However, a brand is completely different from a business. Let's dive into that a bit. A business is the entity or organization that makes a product, or in our case, provides a service, whereas a brand is how your customers feel about your business. It's the identity or image of an auto freight broker business. Starting a freight broker business is simple. You incorporate, you get a tax ID, you get your authority, etc. However, building a brand is where the rubber meets the road. What I tell my students is that you need to choose a niche or area of specialty. This can be a video within itself, but let's keep it simple. Shipping cars is a niche within the freight broker industry. However, to really stand out as an auto transport broker in the sea of competitors, you need to go deeper. Because as you may know by now, auto transport brokers come dime a dozen. So you need to carve out a subset of the market so you can stand out and start getting clients flocking to you. So what does this actually look like? A great example of this is military auto transport. By specializing in shipping cars for military personnel, you can take a slice of the pie. You would start building your brand around military car shipping. From your business name to your website, you want to make sure you're speaking to the specific audience. As we said before, a brand is what your customers say about you. If you look like a duck, quack like a duck, well, you know how the saying goes. If you want to be perceived as the go-to source for military auto transport, you need to make sure you go all in on it. Once you do this, you can leverage SEO, or search engine optimization, to rank on Google. To do this, you'll need to create content around it, writing blog posts, creating videos, or even creating a podcast if that suits your fancy. The point is, building a brand is a critical step in building your book of business as an auto freight broker. The second way to market your business to get more clients is by leveraging strategic connections. What do I mean by strategic connections? These are people who cater to the same audience as you. Now, you can look at this on a macro level, or you can go micro. On a macro level, you'd make connections with people who serve your broader ideal clients, which would be people who cater to the car shipping industry. On a micro level, this would mean focusing on people who cater to your specific niche within auto transport. Let's dive into a few examples so you can better understand how this works, and then we'll get into the best way to find and to connect with these people. So using the macro level, you can connect with car haulers, real estate agents, and relocation companies. What you want to look for is people or industries where your ideal client is likely to use their services and thus need your services as well. As for the micro example, let's continue with the military transport to keep things simple. If I was specializing in military transport, I would be connecting with military relocation companies, people who work for the VA hospital, military bloggers. I join military groups, and I'd look into making connections with people who work at the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. So where do you find all these people? LinkedIn. When used properly, LinkedIn can be a powerful resource for making business connections. However, please don't be the needy Nelly of the bunch. Genuine connections are key here. Always be willing to give value to the person on the other side before you go asking for favors. Giving goes a long way, especially when you're not expecting something in return. Put simply, don't spam random people with your business information. That's really tacky. Before we get into the third way to build your book of business, I'd appreciate a thumbs up if you've gotten value out of this video so far. Also, if you're ready to jump headfirst into starting your auto freight broker business and you want step-by-step instructions on how to start and run your business, I invite you to join me over in Relo Academy. It's an auto transport broker training course designed to help you eliminate the guesswork and make money sooner. I'll leave the link for it in the description below. Thanks. So we've covered building a niche brand within the auto transport space and using SEO to get found by ideal clients. We've also touched on leveraging LinkedIn to make strategic but genuine connections with people who share the same ideal audience as you. Lastly, you want to leverage referrals to build your book of business as an auto freight broker. This one is so simple, yet so many auto transport brokers overlook it. Think about this. How hard did you work to secure a client? Chances are you worked really hard. What most brokers do is they get a client, move their vehicle, and then move on to the next. But that's not you. You're a six-figure broker who wants to build a client base. The best way to do this is by creating what I call a referral machine. When you get that client, rather than move on to the next, I want you to ask them if there's anyone they know who might need your services. Now, if you join me in Relo Academy's first class package, you'll get access to referral email templates that I personally used when I had my broker business. Knowing when to send these emails and the right things to say is a key component of this machine. Ask too early and you'll have clients looking at you sideways. Ask too late and they just might not even care to respond. Hashtag they've moved on. Any successful business knows how powerful referrals are. Think about how many times you've asked a friend or family member who to go to for plumbing or replacing an AC. Maybe it's a mechanic or a realtor. The point is, you've asked for referrals in the past, and chances are you gave those people a call. For the business owner, or in our case, the auto transport broker, which is you, this is a golden ticket. You'll pretty much have that client in the bag. Referrals should be a huge part of your business strategy, especially if you're trying to build a book of business. Don't just think of referrals as one clients. Referrals can be great for introductions too. The key here is you just got to be willing to ask, and so many brokers aren't. More brokers care about testimonials than referrals, but I'd argue the opposite. Testimonials are a great way for social proof, but it'll never outweigh the power of a referral when going head to head. Don't believe me? Just ask yourself, what's more valuable to you? A stranger saying, "I love this ice cream spot down the street," or your cousin raving about the ice cream spot down the street? I'm guessing the latter. So, did you find this list helpful? Did I miss a strategy that's working for you? Let me know in the comments. So there you have it. 3 ways to build your book of business as an auto freight broker. Thanks for watching. I'm your girl Ashley from ReloGeek.com. Now get out there and make moves happen. I'll see you in the next video.